Alright, Laguna. Definitely a track I like to drive. I don't know if it's my strongest. If you are stuck in the 36s, 37s, 8s, 9s, there'll probably be something here to help you out. If you're already getting into the 135s, well, hit the like or subscribe anyway. There might be something here that helps out. Track is 23, so that's, I think, going to be middle of the road for the races, so keep that in mind. There might be a faster track or a slower track. As usual, setups in the description. Just a note on here, if you're new to this track, if, if you're really going for a quali lap, trying to get to the front of the grid, really do practice the quali laps. There's a lot of places to get X's on this, and if you get an X, well, obviously your quali lap is no good. So if you're really trying to get up high on the grid, do practice the quali laps, because easy to ruin them here. So fifth gear, coming down here, getting over to the right, and you're looking for the white marker before the 3. So in real time, it looks like I'm braking just after the white line here at the 3. Cold tires, you might want to be braking just before the white line. Down into second gear, hard on the brakes, keep the wheel straight. You want to have your car aimed towards the middle of the track, but again, hard on the brakes, down into second gear. Don't turn that wheel. This is downhill. You turn that wheel while you're on the brakes, you're going to lose your back end. So you can start turning the wheel, but you have to be releasing the brakes and picking up the throttle a little bit. You want to be close to this red marker or red curb, and shifting down, I think, into first gear, maybe right around here. Yeah, right there, first gear, just to get the turn in, getting on the power. Again, getting up tight against the red curb, and then working your way up into fourth gear. So watch that on cold tires. It's really easy to lose the back end. So coming up into this one, fourth gear, looking to brake between the 2 and the 1 board, about midway through. Cold tires, a little bit more brake. Third gear, hot tires, just a splash of the brakes, and getting the car turned in, aiming for that red curb again. This red curb isn't going to hurt you too bad. It is going to push you wide, so you don't really want to hit that with much force. I think I just nicked it there. So watch out for that, because it will push you wide and you will get that X. So back up into fourth. This one's tricky. You got to turn in a lot earlier than you think. Fourth gear, and you want to turn in at this 2 board. Hot tires, you can do this with just a little lift. Cold tires, it's going to be a bigger lift and an earlier lift. This one, again, aiming for that red curb and then just lifting just before it, so you can get on the power early and get back to full power. Once you're past it, that curb again isn't really going to hurt you too bad. It will push you a little wide, but don't be too afraid to get real close to it. So fourth gear. You can probably get up to fifth gear, especially if you're drafting, but I really do like to keep it in fourth gear. Just makes this corner more simple. Looking for this white line, and basically cold tires, you might want to be braking at that white line, but once the tires are warm, in real time it looks like I'm braking between the white line and the 2. Down into third gear, pretty good hit of the brakes. You want to brake early, brake in a straight line, and then just get on the power. And the trick is, this is a real long corner, and you do have to have some power on, otherwise your back end is going to kick out on you. So you got to have some throttle on there, just to keep the back end steady. Right up against the red there, again, you don't really want to touch that. It'll push you wide. It won't hurt your car, but it will definitely cost you a lot of time if you touch that. Full power as early as possible, and then just unwinding the wheel, getting it out to the right. That was in third gear, shifting up into fourth now. So coming up here, looking for the 2 board. Again, cold tires. You may even want to just dab the brakes here. Hot tires, it's just a lift. If you're really good, you may not even have to lift. But you do have to turn in early. 2 board, how much you turn in depends on your wheel and the settings and all that stuff. It's just going to take some practice. But this one, this red curb, is trouble. If you hit this in the front portion here, you can actually break suspension. I've done that before. That's not a lot of fun. And certainly bend a wheel or bend your wing. So this one you do not really want to mess with. It will wreck your race. So as close as you can, getting on the power as early as you can. If you did a little lift in real time, that lift looks a lot quicker than what it does in slow motion. In the past, I thought this drainage line was actually where you get an X, but in the practice session here, anytime I get on the sand, it was an X, and basically that goes for the entire track. You get on the sand, you get an X. So fourth gear, again, if you're drafting, you might be able to get up into fifth, but I like to keep it in fourth. And just right before the 3 board here, getting on the brakes, fourth gear down into third, and once the car is basically sort of at the level up here, once you've gotten over the crest of the ridge, then getting on the brakes hard, down into second, down into first. And it's really important to get into the camber of this corner. Keep your left tire on the curb. Any more left than that, you're going to get an X. So watch out for that. And if you're even, I think, more than a width of a tire over into the sand, then it's a slowdown, and that's really painful. So it's a short shift now up into second gear. If you hold it in first, there's just, believe it or not, too much torque in the skip, and you can really spin out the back end. So short shift up into second, and again, getting onto this blue curb. Once you watch it from the chase view, you can see it's basically just trying to straighten the chicane as much as possible, just minimize the steering inputs. It just takes some practice to figure out how and where you have to do it. There's not really any great markers, especially when there's a car in front of you too. It's going to be hard, so it just takes some practice. Second gear, using the camber of this as well. Again, if you're in first, it's real easy to spin the tires up and spin out here, so that's why short shifting into second. And then working your way to mid-track up into fourth gear. And yeah, just as you're coming around the bend, I could have been probably a little bit more to the right, a little bit more mid-track, but just a lift on cold tires. It's a bigger lift, and again, just getting right up to that red curb. That one again is going to push you wide if you get too much on it, so be careful of that. In fourth gear, and then working your way over to the left. You have to watch on entry here where you're lined up. If your tire gets here, you are going to get an X. It's a real bugger if you get it there. It's not very fun, especially if it's a quali lap. Cold tires, you may even want to take this in third on entry. Enter in third gear, exit in fourth gear. Warm tires, I find you can do just a lift, but I find it's actually quicker just to give it just a splash of brakes and then just get on the power, build up the power, and that keeps your back end from sliding out. Yeah, came in maybe a little hot. And back to full power. So that's fourth gear, and then work your way over to the right. And looking to brake between the 1 and the 2 board. This is a really hard braking section as well, shifting down into first. This track, you can't be lazy on the brakes. When you commit to the brakes, you gotta commit. And then just releasing the brakes as you turn in. And again, this red curb isn't really gonna hurt you. It's just gonna give you a little jolt there, just a little push out, but nothing too serious. Better that than running wide in that corner. And then shifting up into second, into third. So that's a 135.4. Definitely left a little time on the track. Hopefully that helps you out. Good luck out there. Again, watch those quali laps. Those X's are painful. Watch, you can take the X's in the race. You can cut some corners there and improve your time a little bit if you wanna, if you don't mind risking adding those X's up. So we'll see you out there. Good luck, and watch out for all these high braking points, because it is easy to smash into someone or have someone spin out in front of you and wreck your race. That's always fun. So we'll see you next time.